Welcome to Tuscaloosa for the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Alabama State Hornets. We are underway. Hello again, everybody. This is Roger Hoover alongside former Crimson Tide pitcher and Major Leaguer Lance Cormier. And Lance, it's good to see you for this matchup. The Crimson Tide and the Hornets in Alabama's second midweek game of the year. Left-hander Luke Smyers on the mound facing Aiden Malpass.
Yeah, it's good to be here, Roger. Good to be next to you. And boy, we got a good one right here. Freshman lefty, fastball, first one of his college career, 93 miles an hour. Let's go. He's ready to rock.
Ball and a strike on the center fielder for the Hornets. Working the outside corner, Eddie Loggins, our home plate umpire, ruling on balls and strikes today. Crimson Tide off to a 3-1 start. Lost on opening day to Washington State, but then swept a Saturday doubleheader. Yesterday picked up a narrow 3-2 late win at Sanford. Meanwhile, for the Hornets, going 2-1 during the opening weekend for Jose Vasquez's team at home against Eastern Kentucky. Smyers ready with a 2-2. Struck him out looking. Fastball at 92.
Boy, Raj, that's one of those at-bats. You're going to remember your first at-bat, your college, the guy you face in your college career, get a punch out, 92 miles an hour down and away. That's when a pitcher can just trust that down and away fastball, glove side. That's a perfect spot right there for the true freshman.
From Henrico, Virginia, Godwin High School product. Number 5 southpaw, rated by Perfect Game Baseball in the state of Virginia when he signed with Alabama. Well, it's Miguel Oropeza, the right fielder for Alabama State. Off to a good start this season, 5 for 14 at the plate, hitting .357. No homers, 2 runs driven in. Battery today of Smyers on the mound, John Lim catching for the Crimson Tide. We'll go through the rest of the defense coming up in a moment. One chop to third. There's Jason Torres. 2 gone. Andrew Purdy with the extension at first to make sure Alabama got the out.
It's a nice job right there by Smyers. Roger, just the comfort level in the fastball, you can see it's there, right? The breaking ball, we saw one left up. The first hitter, a couple just missed, but he definitely feels good with that down and away fastball. You could tell going inside, getting that out quick.
Eric Hines in left, Bryce Fowler in center, Peyton Steele in right field. First pitch, swing and a miss to Fabian Santana. Jason Torres made that play at third. Justin LeBron, of course, at shortstop. Brennan Holt at second. Andrew Purdy at first. And then again, John Lim catching for Luke Smyers, making his first collegiate start. Santana 3 for 14 to begin the year, driving in 4 runs against Eastern Kentucky.
You can see right there, Roger, the breaking ball, the hands the fingers aren't getting in front. You can see as he finishes, he spins off to that third base side. And a lot of times, if you're not driving to the plate, it's going to be tough to get those fingers in front and get the ball where you want.
Count moves to 3 balls and a strike to Santana. Two-out walk to Fabian Santana, and the Hornets with a 2-out base runner for their cleanup man, Trey Calloway. Probably won't see Smyers stretched out as much as what we saw last night. JT Blackwood, 6 scoreless innings for Alabama, only allowing 2 hits in an impressive start at Sanford.
Yeah, he did a great job of establishing the fastball and just pitching off of it, and for the most part, just challenging the Bulldog hitters and making them do something. And boy, that was a good game going into the 8th inning, and Alabama being able to pull it out. But you get a pitcher's duel, 0-0, 1-0 into the 8th inning. That's a fun ball game.
Certainly was a great dramatic win. Peyton Steele, a go-ahead home run in the top of the 8th, delivering Alabama a 3-2 win. Hagan Banks went the final 2 innings, scoreless fashion to get the save. Trey Calloway, after a mighty cut at the first pitch fastball he saw from Smyers. 0-1 is in there, 0-2.
You can just tell. I mean, that's the, hey, when in doubt, the glove side fastball, which is away to left-handed hitters, but into right-handed hitters. And, you know, a lot of times you don't see guys establish inside part of the plate, so I like to see the young guy, Smyers, out there doing that.
Santana at first with 2 gone. Got him swinging. Fastball at 92, second strikeout of the inning for Smyers.
Yeah, boy, just trust it. You rear back, trust the old number 1 right there. He's got a good one from the left side, and he gets the punch out. Nice start to his college career.
Crimson Tide to the plate when we come back here on the SEC Network.
Okay, right, like, so we won't have a count.
Crimson Tide to the plate in the bottom of the 1st against right-hander Jackson Baptist. Bryce Fowler leading it off for the Crimson Tide, the center fielder who keeps getting on base for Alabama. 4 for 12 at the plate, so Lance, that's good for a .333 average, but every coach loves the on-base percentage when you add in 6 walks. That's what Bryce Fowler's done. On-base percentage at .556.
Well, I mean, let's get it straight, right? He gets to hit in front of one of the best players in the country, and Justin LeBron. So, yeah, you want a guy on base, but, heck, I'd like to hit in front of him too, right? You're going to see a lot of pitches to hit, and so that's what Bryce Fowler's been doing. But you got to take advantage of the opportunity, and that's what he's done. We got another freshman out here, Jackson Baptiste, making his first start. He already has an appearance, and that's what Coach Vasquez talked about this past weekend. There was a game they were up 13-0, wanted to get him out there to kind of get his feet wet into college baseball. He said, I know it's going to be a little different here, you know, at Sewell Thomas Stadium playing Alabama, but he said, I didn't want that to be the first time he took the mound, and you're going to see some fastball change-up, little curveball combination from Jackson.
Fowler dropped the bat, but that is a strike 2 call. Now a full count of 3-2 to the Crimson Tide leadoff hitter. He'll be followed by the shortstop Justin LeBron and then the catcher John Lim, all due to the plate in the bottom of the 1st.
I'm going to give a little credit to Mr. Trey Calloway, the catcher. That was a pretty good frame. Looked like it was outside. He brought it back in and got another shot.
Payoff pitch. Foul tip, strike 3. So from 3-0 to a strikeout for Baptist.
Oh, nice job of making the adjustment. And again, that's where it takes 4, right? 4 balls to walk, and you know, you got to get the strike. So even when you're down 3-0, you just go out there and challenge guys. He does that, gets the call on 3-1, and gave him a second chance, and he made the most of it.
Here is a projected top draft pick this season. Potential top 5, could play his way in at #1 overall, Justin LeBron. Last night did not record a base hit against Samford, but kept getting on base for the Crimson Tide. Had 3 stolen bases in the game, already 6 stolen bags this year. Had just 17 a year ago.
Yeah, and that's another part where you probably have scouts going, all right, can he do this? All right, what can he, we know he can hit for average. We've seen the power developing. Like, what takes him to another level? The defense is already there. Like, he came in as a freshman, probably could have played anywhere in professional baseball as a shortstop. But now what can take him to the next level and be in the argument, which you hear, the 1-1, or even just the top 10 of the first round is, all right, when the guy gets on base, he's also a menace on the base paths. But like you mentioned, Rod, didn't get a hit or whatever, but the one thing he does.
Actually did have one.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
What he does, though, is he makes the pitchers work, right? And so now the pitcher, he's stressed. You know the type of hitter you're facing, so now you're stressed trying to face that guy.
Skies it high to center field. Center fielder for the Hornets. Small pass puts it away, and there are 2 gone. Also, LeBron yesterday hit a ball really high to center in his first at-bat, but it stayed in the yard at Jolie Griffin Field.
And when you have a pitcher, especially a young guy out there that's really having to stress on one, he gets that guy out. What do you usually see that next one? There's a big relief, a relaxing out there, and then you groove a pitch to the next guy, or becomes a 2-out walk, and that keeps an inning going.
Now the native of Australia, John Lim at the plate. Crimson Tide catcher for this midweek contest against Alabama State. Loud contact all throughout the season, 2 for 8 at the plate, but even his outs have been hit hard and sometimes very deep in this ballpark. Baptist in front, ball and 2 strikes. Two and two. Trey Calloway, the catcher, as we mentioned before. Just some other players for the Hornets around the diamond. Devin Chandler in left, Aiden Malpass in center, Miguel Oropeza in right, Fabian Santana at third, Braden Devine at short. Right back up the middle, John Lim with Alabama's first hit. 2-out single to center.
Just a good piece of hitting right there. Rod stays on the ball, shoots it up the middle. I mean, that's another good contact right there. And that's where early on in the season, when you're not getting the hits, but you're still getting good contact, the mental part of the game, right? When we look up and we go, man, I'm hitting the ball hard, but there's nothing to show for it. As a hitter, you start to doubt yourself. If you can stay mentally tough, lock in, those then turn into hits, and that's how you keep a good part of the season going.
Always good to have a man on base for Crimson Tide, third baseman Jason Torres. He's driven in 4 runs so far for Alabama, 5 for 13 at the plate. His second year at the capstone after starting his career at the University of Miami. In there for a strike, 0-2. Got him swinging. A scoreless first inning with a pair of strikeouts for Jackson Baptist against Alabama.
Well, just 3 straight sliders right there to Jason Torres. Baptist, great job in his first inning against the Alabama Crimson Tide. We got 0-0 ball game here in Tuscaloosa.
Scoreless inning between Alabama and Alabama State as Luke Smyers goes back to work on the mound for the Tide, facing Jackson Williams. First pitch swinging, nubbed foul down the first base side. Williams, the first baseman, followed by Alex Espaillat, the second baseman, and Cale Clark, the DH.
Well, that pitch right there, Roger, just on the knuckles of the hitters. Again, Smyers is doing a great job of establishing the fastball into those righties, and that is going to be beneficial not just for him the rest of his outing, but the other Alabama pitchers to come out of the bullpen.
Smoked to left center for a base hit. Williams is aboard. He homered against Eastern Kentucky over the weekend, and his good start to the year continues.
The reason I was saying that just because as you establish the inside part of the plate, you get all the right-handed hitters looking like that. That opens up the outside, which he tried to go outside on that one, got a little bit too much of the plate, gave up the single.
Alex Espaillat, second baseman, 4 for 11 in the plates to begin his season. Sophomore out of Seminole, Florida. Second team All-SWAC a year ago, hit .331. Bounce to the second baseman, Holt. LeBron will hang on to the baseball, and there's one gone.
Good pitch right there, down and away fastball, 92, had some sink on it, so he does the job, gets the ground ball. Tailor-made. You got Holt to LeBron. That's probably, I'd say if that happens again, maybe more than once or twice this season, you're going to be shocked because I mean, that's as good as gold once you get into LeBron's hands, but he couldn't get the grip of it, but they still get the one out. So, you know, you basically just trade a spot. You got an out and man on first still.
A lefty on lefty matchup with Cale Clark, the DH. First start for Smyers after coming in just one appearance over the weekend against Washington State.
There's a lot to love about this freshman class from Alabama. You saw Church, Upchurch, have a great outing. 9 punch-outs in his 4 innings. You got a couple big hitters. We got one in left field, Eric Hines. I mean, to see another arm like this, a lefty, I mean, the future looks bright. Obviously, you know, you got to keep kids around. That's the tough part about the college game these days. They don't necessarily stay around their 3-4 years, but, man, they got a great start right now with the young guys that they brought in.
1-1 to Clark. Stayed away and a look by John Lim at first. 2 balls and a strike to the DH. Chop foul down the first base line to even the count at 2-2.
You know, so far early in the part of the game, right, for Smyers is you're seeing a really good fastball, a belief in the fastball. The way he attacks with it, it's now the breaking ball, right? And to be successful in this league in the SEC, you're going to have all-speed pitches, multiple ones, not just one. You need probably 2. Now, as a reliever, you can get away with 2, but most of the time these guys come in, you want to be a starter. That's just where you like to know the routines and everything. But right now, I love the fastball. You just got to get to the point where the off-speed pitch catches up to that, and a lot of that is just confidence.
Keep an eye at first base. Espaillat does have 2 stolen bases on the year. Spyatt at first with one gone. 2-2 on Clark. Line fair down the left field line for a base hit. Spyatt to third. 2 in scoring position with one gone thanks to the double by Cale Clark.
We got the breaking ball in the zone right there, Roger, but it just stays up, and that's where, you know, you leave the bat in the zone long enough, he stays with it, drives it down there, and you also see now where you don't assume the double play, so there's no error, but when you get that ground ball, especially the young guy gets the ground ball, now you're looking at man on second base, 2 outs, but not making that play when LeBron didn't get the handle on it. Now you got second and third, 1 out, and now you're looking at, okay, hey, RBI situation, less than 2 outs. This is the time you need that big punch out.
Clark's first extra base hit of the season, now 2 in scoring position for Devin Chandler. Senior in his 4th year playing for the Hornets. One 0 pitch. Foul tip. Fastball comes in at 92, and the count evens to 1 ball, 1 strike. Chandler 1 hit in his 8 at-bats to begin the season. A couple of runs driven in against Eastern Kentucky. .253 hitter a year ago.
Hey, that's the best breaking ball he's thrown. You can see he got the ball, the hands out in front. A lot of times you can shorten the stride to get the fingers in front of that ball. That had the break that he wants. That's the one, if he gets that across the plate a lot more, boy, they'll start respecting that, and then the fastball's even better. Roger, when you look at the stats for Alabama State and the Hornet hitters, is some of the averages, like, okay, you're starting to say they're not quite there, but they're getting the big hits, right? You're like, hey, 2 hits this weekend, drove in 4. Like, that's what you want to see as a coach, getting the hit when it matters most.
Payoff pitch. Low and inside, ball 4, and that walk will load the bases with 1 out for Alabama State.
You know, and that's the situation now that you're in, right? How many chances are you going to get where you have guys on base now with bases loaded? This is where you get your big hit. Then go 1 for 4. I'm okay with it. Put a ball in the gap right here, and we're in business.
Braden Devine, the shortstop, 9 hitter in the order, due up next against Smyers as Jason Jackson's going to come out. Bullpen activity will begin shortly for the Crimson Tide as Smyers tries to work out of this jam. Bases loaded, 1 gone, top of the 2nd. Trip to the mound by the associate head coach and pitching coach for the Tide, Jason Jackson. Dealing with Luke Smyers, talking with him about this bases loaded situation with 1 gone, trying to keep this a scoreless game, top of the 2nd. Here is Devine, the shortstop. Right back up the middle, and the Hornets take the lead. RBI single, Braden Devine, 1-0 Hornets, top of the 2nd.
That's exactly what we're talking about. I mean, 2 for 11, but he does have 2 RBI, so now a 3rd hit, gets his 3rd RBI this season. And you can see Smyers thinking, hey, get ahead, the fastball, but that's when it's up in the zone, flattens out a little bit. Devine jumps all over that, and I mean, that's where you talk about you get into college baseball, right? 1 through 9, they can all hurt you, especially when you know you have to throw a strike, and that's kind of the situation for Smyers right now. Is he just had a walk, and so he didn't want to do anything else. So hey, I got to get ahead, and jumped all over the heater.
Top of the order, back to the plate with Malpass.
That'll help.
Yes.
Left on left, and you get the hitter bailing out right there. That's a good curveball.
Also has the fastball. Now 0-2 to Malpass. Malpass transferring from Missouri to Alabama State, played just 2 games for the Tigers a year ago. Native of Alabama from Hoover. Multi-sport athlete at John Carroll Catholic High School. Got him swinging. Strikeout when Smyers needed it. 2 gone.
Yeah, that's the perfect pitch he needed to go. You start him off with a breaking ball where the hitter takes it, bails, so you know he didn't see it real well, and you see his reaction. Late to the fastball, went right back to the slider. Kept calling it a curveball, probably more of a sweeper, a little more side-to-side movement. That's a big out right there for Smyers.
Still bases loaded for the Hornets. 2 gone. Now it's Miguel Oropeza, the right fielder. First pitch breaking ball missed into the hands for ball 1. Cranked high in the air to left. Eric Hines there for the Crimson Tide. Puts it away, and the inning is over. But the inning features an RBI single by Braden Devine, and as we move to the bottom of the second, it's the Hornets with a 1-0 lead against Alabama. Jackson Baptist on the mound now has a lead to work with for Alabama State after the Devine RBI single. And 2 strikeouts in the first round, a 2-out single by John Lem. Now for Alabama, Andrew Purdy, first baseman, followed by the DH Will Platner, then the right fielder and last night's hero Peyton Steele due up third. It all starts with Purdy, who is also one of the heroes last night. Lance, Alabama was down 2-0 at Samford, 1 gone top of the 8th. It was Purdy who came to the plate as a pinch hitter for Luke Vaughn. Hit by a pitch. That eventually got it going for Alabama in that 3-run 8th.
It's crazy what things spark a lineup, right? Little things like that. a walk that a guy just grinds out and it gets the guys excited, fouling off a lot of balls, or a guy taking a pitch, you know, because the dugout will be like, where, you know, just getting on you and just doing the little small things, and all of a sudden creates an inning, and then you run into a ball and look up, you got the win.
Freshman from Cartersville High School, Cartersville, Georgia, Andrew Purdy. Also had a solid performance for the Crimson Tide. Game 2 of the doubleheader on Saturday against Washington State, getting his first collegiate hit, driving in 3 runs. Draws a leadoff walk to start the Alabama second.
That's a good take, 3-1, right? I mean, you think young kid going to be aggressive, especially in that 3-1 count. And I mean, that's how you become successful in college baseball. Swing at strikes and able to lay off balls. Even though you know, hey, fastball's coming, you get the pitch you want, but it's out of the zone, you're probably going to get yourself out. So that's a nice AB right there.
Man aboard for Will Plattner, the DH. Purdy at first to begin this inning. Two and nothing to the Crimson Tide captain Will Plattner. Gets to wear the jersey number 3 as the third captain in the Rob Vaughn era. The number 3 signifying the 3 pillars of Alabama baseball: ownership, toughness, and grit. Skies it high but foul deep down the right field line, 2-1. Good to see Plattner selected for the captaincy of the Crimson Tide this year.
He's a big part of that lineup last year, and at one point had things really rolling with the bat. And when he got hurt, obviously he's not out there, but I mean, it affected the whole lineup, because then you lose a guy that's hot, so then guys have to step up, move up a spot, and it just didn't have the same flow for Alabama. And they went on a slide in games, and he wasn't there.
There have been a good mixture. He and Brady Neal really sharing the catching responsibilities. Then Plattner's out for extended time. It all falls on Brady Neal, and that's tough to be an everyday catcher in SEC baseball.
Well, I mean, when you talk to hitters, it's all about legs, right? I mean, if you don't have your legs under you, you don't feel comfortable in the box. And as a catcher, if he's starting to catch every game, right, that's the beauty of having multiple guys that you could bring out there and feel comfortable to manage the staff, to make the plays. You don't obviously want to have a massive drop-off on the defensive side. And so having guys like that, I mean, Bama feels like they have 3 guys with Lim out there as well as Neal and Plattner.
1-0 Hornets lead Alabama. We're in the bottom of the second. Payoff pitch. Got him swinging. Third strikeout for Jackson Baptist.
I love the freshman right there. 3-2, goes with the slider outside the zone. I mean, that's where we just talked about, right? The young kid Purdy lays off a 3-1 fastball up out of the zone, swinging at strikes, taking balls. Plattner goes out there and chases.
1 gone. Purdy at first. Here is Peyton Steele. Sophomore from Hartselle High School. Lines it to left, base hit. Peyton Steele keeps on hitting. Had that go-ahead 2-run homer last night at Sanford, and picks up a single in his first at-bat today against Alabama State.
Yeah, a little slider up in the zone. Steele does a great job. He's a little out in front, you can see, and that's why just off the end of the bat. But the bat in the zone long enough, loops it into the left field for a base hit.
An exciting Crimson Tide freshman to the plate in Tuscaloosa's own Eric Hines, product of American Christian Academy. 2 on, but nobody out for Alabama. Hines has some serious power. Saw that on display against Washington State on the first pitch he saw. Nearly hit to the law school, it seemed like, but just stayed in the yard on a great catch by the Cougar left fielder. That was absolutely scalded at the wall.
You can see obviously the approach for the Hornets pitchers, and Baptist is slider after slider, and that's one of those where he's gotten better at sliders and curveballs in the zone. So 0-2, this is something you want to be wasting. You don't want to let that ball stay in the zone.
Got him swinging on 3 pitches. Slider again.
Yeah, slider again. Again, I maybe would have wanted that buried a little bit more, but man, the spin is tight. You can see him. That's up to 2,600 spin rate on that slider. So it's coming out of the hand, looking like the fastball, and that's why you see the Alabama hitters opening up, going to chase out there, and he's got 2 punch outs in this inning.
So with that, 2 men on base, 2 gone. Alabama trailing 1-0 in the bottom of the second. And here is second baseman Brennan Holt, batting 9th in the order once again for Coach Vaughn and the Crimson Tide. Baptist a little high with the first pitch fastball to Holt, who we've seen play for the LSU Tigers, the Oklahoma State Cowboys, then the South Alabama Jaguars the last 2 seasons. Now a member of the Crimson Tide. Purdy got it going at a leadoff walk. He's in scoring position at second, representing the tying run. Just joining us, Braden Devine had an RBI single top of the second to put the Hornets in front, 1-0.
I love the approach right now by Baptist. It's just attacking the zone. I mean, that's a 88-mile-an-hour fastball, and you see Holt not able to make a good swing on it. You know that when you swing like that, you're not sitting fastball. That's looking for something else and just trying to react to it.
The 1-2. Stayed outside with the fastball to even the count. Two on with 2 out. 2-2 pitch. Check swing. That fastball just missed. Full count to Brennan Holt.
Oh, we got baseball now. We got runners going to be moving. This is where you want to be as a hitter. You know he's not wanting to walk a guy, load the bases, and you got the top of the lineup. So this is the pitcher going to get a chance to hit. But he's also gone to that 3-2 breaking ball. So just got to see the ball in the zone and make something happen.
Swings and misses, strike 3. A 3 strikeout inning for Baptist as Alabama gets 2 men on base but will not score.
Yeah, big smile right there. I mean, again, with 2 guys on, he's pitching out of trouble, created his own trouble a little bit with the leadoff walk. But man, what a way to finish the inning. 3 punch outs, getting the strikeout at the side.
Right Field Rangers are here enjoying some Crimson Tide baseball on a Wednesday afternoon. Busy day on campus just behind right field. Coleman Coliseum will be buzzing later tonight with Alabama men's basketball against the Arkansas Razorbacks. Here at the Joe, 1-0 Alabama State with the lead as we start the top of the third with a new pitcher on the mound in Sam Mitchell. Takes over after the freshman Luke Smyers made the start. Went about like we expected, 2 innings to begin his time as a starter here at Alabama.
That's what Alabama usually does, especially when they have that multiple midweek games, this being the second one. It's a matter of, hey, let's not burn somebody too much for the weekend, but get everybody an opportunity to get some game action.
Fabian Santana, third hitter in the order, due up first for Alabama State as Mitchell makes his second appearance of the season. 2 scoreless innings on opening day in that 8-4 loss for Alabama against Washington State. 2-1. Fastball hammered foul to even the count.
Yeah, Roger, it's 90 to 93, heavy dose of fastball, mixes in a cutter, slider, changeup as well. But when you think about it, it's a guy that he wants to establish the fastball like we've seen so far early in this inning.
2-2 to Santana. Lifted high in the air to right. Steele runs in. Purdy goes back. This will be Steele for the first out.
Nice job. That early on in the season, right? Those are the little things that you go, hey, are we locked in on, coverages in the outfield? We got our communication going. Nice job by Steele coming in. Everybody peeling away. It's easy for those outfielders to come in. When you teaching the guys out there, it's so much easier for you to come running in to catch a ball as opposed to those guys going backpedaling.
Trey Callaway, the catcher, struck out first time up against Smyers, now facing Sam Mitchell. Mitchell, the tallest player on the roster at 6'7". Got him swinging.
Again, when you can establish the fastball like he has been attacking, and you throw the slider off that same plane, because that looked like a fastball down and away and just at the last second just disappears. 84-mile-an-hour slider. That's tough to lay off of.
2 gone for Jackson Williams, the first baseman. Singled his first time up.
Only got a little juice, got a little run into, a little arm side run into the right-handed hitters.
Mitchell had not seen any game action a year ago. 5 games out of the bullpen as a freshman in 2024. 1-0 record with a 5.87 ERA after he signed with the Crimson Tide from Bob Jones High School.
I like it. 1-2. He went back to the pitch that he got the punch out on the one before, so I like that. A little bit out of the zone starting too soon, but again, you don't want to get hurt when it's a 1-2 count.
Williams fouling away the fastball, sticking around at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Oof. You know what they call that? A really good take. Boy, that's a.
You can say that now.
Oh man, how do you lay off that pitch? And sometimes as a pitcher, that's the most frustrating part, is that when a hitter can take what you feel like is your best pitch
Then just missed
Then
on
do
the
it again.
outside of the fastball.
Wow. I mean, that's also what you call a guy locked in, knowing the strike zone. Boy, Jackson Williams. I mean, to take it 2-2 and then he was thinking breaking ball again, because that's when the fastball comes in like that and he's frozen. You're just hoping to get called the ball, and it sure was, and he's on first.
2-out walk. Now a man aboard for Alex Espiat. Reached on a fielder's choice last time up. Late that time on the fastball. Strike one.
I like the fastball, just thinking, hey, let's go outer third and let it run. I mean, it's running a back across the plate, so if you go middle to outer third, it's running on the black and then into third, and it's tying up those Hornets hitters' hands.
Mitchell in front, 1 ball, 2 strikes. High fastball evens things up, 2-2. Up the middle for a base hit. Espiat aboard, a walk and a single with 2 outs for Alabama State.
You gotta give a lot of credit to the Hornets lineup. They're laying off the tough pitches, and the pitch before that was the fastball up, right? Lays off that tough one, and he gets the slider in the zone, and keeps his hands in, shoots that ball up the middle, keeps the inning going with 2 outs. Now, what these coaches will preach, right? We talked about it early on. Get the hit when it matters most. Now you got guys in scoring position. 2-out hits win ball games.
Cale Clark, the lefty batting DH, doubled first time up. Eventually leading to first run of the game for the Hornets just an inning ago in the second. Transfer from Indian Hills Community College. Nubbed past the mound. Torres has it and throws out Clark to end the inning as the Hornets get a pair of men aboard with 2 outs, but ultimately do not score against Sam Mitchell. Bottom of the third coming up. It's still Alabama State 1 and the Crimson Tide nothing. Solid Wednesday afternoon here in Tuscaloosa as we see the Crimson Tide back to the plate in the bottom of the third. Hornets with a 1-0 lead. First pitch to Bryce Fowler, skied high and fell. Out towards Brian Drive for strike one. Fowler strikeout first time up as Jackson Baptist. Pretty good so far. 2 scoreless innings, allowing 2 hit. And now the challenge for the freshman facing this Alabama order a second time through.
Yeah, you got that right. This is going to be a big inning for him with the lead, 1-0. And like you just mentioned, the second time through their lineup, Alabama hitters have seen obviously the pitches, but they also have seen the approach 1 through 9. And right now the approach is literally, it's attacking the zone and, you know, mixing that slider in when he needs to.
Fowler to the second baseman, Espiad. Throws him out to start the Crimson Tide third.
You know, and what they saw through the first time through the lineup was a guy that went 2 scoreless and 5 punch-outs with only 1 walk. And so the freshman is stepping up big time.
Now facing someone who was pretty good as a freshman, Justin LeBron. Now ready for his junior season for the Crimson Tide. Freshman All-SEC selection back in 2024 and then had that huge start to the year last year. Now just looking for the same type of consistency and continue being Justin LeBron really for the next few months.
Yeah, it's everything that you want to see as a scout is there. It's like you said, the consistency of not swinging at that pitch, the slider down and away, and having a little bit more swing and miss, because you know when he makes contact, usually good things are going to happen.
.316 average, 18 home runs last season. He homered in 2 of the first 3 games against Washington State over the weekend. An impressive showing, even highlighted by Major League Baseball's social media platforms, what he was able to do weekend number 1. And the count 3-1. Deep fly out to center for LeBron, his first time up in the first. Works the 1-out walk. He's getting on base a lot with walks. That's now the 5th one already this season. He was hit by a pitch twice last night. Teams are also going to keep pitching him a little bit differently.
And that's going to be, too, where you have to be patient, right? Because he knows he wants to go do damage, do all the stuff at the plate. But pitchers are going to pitch around him, and he has to understand that when you are the team leader and the most feared hitter in the lineup, even though he's hitting in the number 2 spot, right? So he has to be able to take that, extend the inning, and that's where Alabama, if they're going to have a lot of success, it's going to come from the 3-4 spot because Justin LeBron's on base. They got to have protection for him.
And it's up to guys like John Lim, Jason Torres, who have batted behind him already this season. Trying to make sure they drive him in. Lim had a base hit up the middle his first time up as he will visit with Rob Vaughn. Quick offensive conference, being good to go with the count 1-0. Third season for Coach Vaughn as Alabama's head coach. And for the first time, wearing a white baseball cap. Something new for Alabama this season. The white caps with the crimson lid. Haven't seen those probably since 2017.
Yeah, how far does it go back? We wore them, I think the 2021 season. I mean, sorry, 2021, 2001.
I remember you on that 21 team. You were so good, Lance.
2001, way back, and we wore them all whites. It was one time when Coach Wells had gotten tossed and he was suspended for a game. We were playing another team that had red jerseys, and so we were having to wear all whites. And it was one of those things where we were begging Coach Gaspard, hey, can we wear the white hat too?
LeBron goes off for second. He'll have it easily as the throw went into center. Good job by Espiad, the second baseman, backing up that play. Otherwise, LeBron's at third.
Yeah, you want to talk about baseball IQ right there. I mean, you got a pitcher just walked you, already 1-0, struggling, the little timeout. You know he's thinking, all right, I'm not paying attention to the runner. LeBron picks a great spot. He takes that bag with ease.
7th stolen base for LeBron. Again, just 17 a year ago. 2-0 count to Lim, and they throw wild back to second base. LeBron takes third. Justin LeBron's gonna come home. He ties this game with the threat of his base running.
Again, we talked about it. What needs to happen? Well, show something you haven't done for the most part in your career. And yeah, 17 bags is good, but like you're talking about a guy with that kind of speed and also that kind of instincts. And man, he was wanting to go. He took that extra secondary. Baptist does a great job of doing the pickoff, but the feet don't turn. Bad throw, and you're right. Speed kills sometimes. Boy, puts a lot of pressure. LeBron scores some second on that error.
A walk, a stolen base, and then a two-base throwing error on a pickoff attempt, bringing him home.
All right, so get back to the all-white story.
Yes.
And so Coach Gaspard allows us to do this, right? You have the players. You want to be a player's coach. You let the players pick what they want. And, boy, we're like, all right. And as a pitcher, you're thinking, hey, white baseball, all white uniforms, white hat. They're not going to see it. We're going to dominate. No, we lost it, and guess what? We never wore the white hats again, I think, in my entire career. But it was something we used to wear on Sundays, the white hat. But, man, it's a sharp look when you get them nice. But, yeah, the all-white look, Coach said, man, we're not doing that one again.
I was a little surprised to see that when we got to the yard today, but solid look with the crimson jersey as that's chopped to first off the bat of Lim. And the play made by Williams, 2 gone.
Yeah, I mean, right, we walk up, Coach Vaughn gets done talking with Coach Vasquez. He looks at me, flips his hat at me. I said, I thought I had a souvenir. I thought I got a brand new white hat. I was like getting excited, but then he wanted it back.
Junior's got his inventory. You got to keep
right,
all that straight as can be. Well, Baptist sets down Lim. Now focus on the Crimson Tide cleanup batter, Jason Torres. 2 outs, no one on base, but Alabama's tied the game at 1 in the bottom of the third. First pitch slider for a strike. Torres struck out first time up. It was on a slider.
Well, that's the knock. I mean, he has trouble laying off the sliders, and when you see guys take sliders in the zone like that, they obviously don't want to swing first pitch like that. But then when you start having a guy that's going to just do it again,
rips it just foul down the left field line.
Because I mean, that's what you're going to see. I mean, that's been the book on him last year. A lot of strikeouts, and it was if he could lay off that, the power's there, the production's there. It's just when all of a sudden pitchers can just duplicate the same pitch over and over again. And as you get higher up in the league, right, the SEC, those guys are going to be able to do that. And that's why you see the struggles in conference play. But, well, you put a ball in the zone, he's going to do some damage.
Baptist 0-2. Dropped low, a ball and 2 strikes to Jason Torres, who did power out 11 homers and drove in 37 runs. Foul tip held onto by Callaway for the strikeout. That is a 1-run bottom of the third for Alabama. Really everything centered around Justin LeBron and his base running in this frame. Let's go to the 4th. 1-1 game between the Hornets and the Crimson Tide. Alabama State scored with an RBI single by Braden Devine, top of the second. Then Justin LeBron, after drawing a walk, stealing second base. There was a pickoff throw to second, wild from the Alabama State pitcher. That brought him home just a moment ago, tying the game at 1 in the bottom of the third. Now we see the third pitcher of the afternoon on the mound for the Crimson Tide in veteran Bobby Alcock. A season ago, pitched in 11 games, made 10 starts, had a 6.03 ERA, used in a variety of roles. Midweek starter, started very well against Texas A&M. He was the SEC Pitcher of the Week after he had a 7-inning, 8 strikeout performance against the Aggies to open conference play. Also used some out of the bullpen as well, but Bobby Alcock, good veteran on the mound, the transfer from Gardner-Webb, now in his second season with Alabama.
Yeah, he's one of those guys as a coach, he's, you wish you had 12 of them, right? Hardest worker, attention to detail type of guy, has the 4 pitches, and you're right, just wants the ball, whether it's starting, relieving, but this fastball up to 92, like I mentioned, mixes in the curveball, the slider, and the changeup as well.
Slider just runs inside to Devin Chandler. It'll be 8, 9, and 1 in the order due up for the Hornets, starting with Chandler. After a walk, first trip to the plate.
Roger, we got a little action. I don't know if that they're tossing actually a football, so I'm guessing Jackson Baptist is going to be able to go out there again, but that's one of those teaching moments where you go, hey, like, you want the team to earn it, right? You walk Justin LeBron, you let him steal because you weren't paying attention, and then your error causes in. So, I mean, like, that's where you go, hey, like, the outing was good, right? We had a lot of positives, but what can we do to be better? That's one of those things, is be able to lock in and not hurt yourself.
Fastball just low, 3-1. It's actually his third year with Alabama. Did not appear in 2024, but spent 2021 to 2023 at Gardner-Webb. Boom foul, 3-2.
You're talking about a guy with a lot of innings under his belt, situations. He's been in all things. So when you talk about the game, when you get out there, hey, it speeds up some players. And when you've been out there as many times as Bobby Alcock, it's not going to speed up. It's just a matter, hey, do you have the stuff to get it done that day? Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't.
Into right field. It'll be Holtz, second baseman, putting it away to set down Chandler to begin this inning.
Little Bermuda Triangle out there. Holt does a great job of just, he's got the right route. I mean, just the way he's able to turn his shoulders and run toward the ball. Calling off the first baseman, Purdy, making the play.
Braden Devine, RBI single his first time up, gave the Hornets their 1-0 lead. He bunts this foul, third base side. Mentioned experience for Alcock at Gardner-Webb. 2023, just before he came to Alabama, he was the Big South Pitcher of the Year. 7-3, had a 2.51 ERA, the best in the league.
Yeah, remember when he came in, and then what kind of injury it was in 2024 that just kept him out of the rotation, and they had high hopes for him. Like you said, coming off a Pitcher of the Year, I mean, you're thinking, hey, will it translate to the SEC? You felt pretty good about it, but then he got the injury to take him out.
Devine, a 2-for-2 game against the Crimson Tide. Throw goes to second, and he's out. Tried to stretch that single into a double, and the Crimson Tide were on top of it. He may want to challenge.
Yeah, I think he tried to do the little swim move. Don't know, what he was thinking, trying to go to 2, because it was right at Fowler. You got a good defensive center fielder. Maybe he felt like Bryce Fowler was going to be a little slow to it.
It's Morris Hodges, the third base umpire, announcing that the play is going to be under further review. Again, on today's broadcast, we have some limited replay capabilities, but we'll do our best to describe what we're seeing here, especially at Sewell Thomas Stadium, and what the umpires will take a look at as well. Trying to determine whether or not Devine has a double or is out with a single at second base, trying to go from first to second.
Well, second base umpire Brandon Folks, I mean, he was right on it. The positioning was great, and that's all you can ask, right, for an umpire. Is he in good position to see the play? He was in great position, but sometimes you miss. You anticipate the slide going to be there, but Devine did a great job of moving the right arm. Just don't know if they were able to get that left one as he was going in.
Starting to show some video board replays. Honestly, tough for us to tell whether or not he got in, as it was a good throw, but it's all about the timing of the tag and when he gets to second base.
Oh, I mean, what about before the replay, what, 5 to 10 years ago, you know, it was always, did the ball beat you? Yes, he's out by a mile, right? The throw is there. You can see Holt's got the glove down, but sometimes putting the glove down. I remember the old school Nintendo game, Bases Loaded. It was the first game you could move the guy sliding, and I thought that was the greatest thing. It was well beyond its years right there, and now you start to see these guys with the creative slides, you know, moving the arm out of the way. You know, when you start talking about athleticism, heck, what can you do? You help the team some way with a good slide.
Replay review in the top of the fourth at the moment. 2 gone, no one on base, but let's see the call from the umpires. Morris Hodges will get back on the microphone. So a good challenge for Alabama State. Devine will pick up a double to center field. Now he's aboard in scoring position with only 1 out, top of the fourth.
Yeah, great job getting in a scoring position. That's one of those, though, Roger. Hey, great job. Don't ever do that again.
The old Lou Brown.
Yeah, you were a hose, but hey, nice job sliding, getting in there, and creating something when you were dead to right.
He's in scoring position, 1 gone. Aiden Malpass representing the top of the order. So it'll just be a single, and he will advance on an error by Fowler to second base, according to the official scoring.
I didn't see a bobble. Did you?
I did not.
Okay, yeah. Maybe
especially for him to recover and be able to make an on-target throw.
I felt like it was just a little slow to get to the ball, just kind of thinking, hey, it's a routine single and he's not going to go anywhere.
Couple of strikeouts for Malpass, but that was against the lefty Luke Smyers. It started this game for Alabama. Now he's facing the right-hander Bobby Alcock. Eddie Loggins telling him something about either being ready to go. I'm not sure if it's pitch clock violation or not, but maybe just looking at the hitter. The umpires are always kind of reminding pitchers of that as you start the season, because sometimes in inter-squads, getting set for the season, you're not thinking about that as much as you would be in a game spot.
Well, like you mentioned, that what these, especially a lot of the SEC teams, have gotten away from the umpires in the scrimmages. They just throw the TrackMan box on the scoreboard and they just go with that. And hey, you know, you hear the dugout be, oh, that's a strike, because it's in the thing. And so, yeah, if you don't have the umpire telling you or watching the clock, it makes it difficult when you get into the season, and so much emphasis is on that.
Good breaking ball back in there for Bobby Alcock. Fastball, curve, slider, and changeup in his repertoire. Devine at second, 1 gone, 2-2. Devine goes for third as that's fouled away.
Alcock's falling into a little pattern of how much time he's taken, right? When you get a runner on second base, he's coming set, you know, you're thinking 1001, 1002, and now you're going to start to see the hitter, the Hornets, with the guys that can run. You can see that as he comes set, all of a sudden they start to count, and then, like you see, that extra lead's going to happen.
Alcock gets a strikeout, 2 gone.
And especially with 1 out, that's why you saw Devine trying to get to third base, or where any kind of ball in play would get him a run.
Miguel Oropeza, the right fielder. 5 for 14 against Eastern Kentucky to start the year. 0 for 2 in this ball game against Alabama. Devine at second, 2 gone in a 1-1 game, top of the fourth. Back in the zone, 1-1. Clipped him with the curveball. Runners at first and second with 2 outs.
Yeah, he'd gone in the pitch before. Cutter, slider, didn't know it was at 84, but it was a front door. And so he tried to go in there again, and you can see Oropeza not moving, not budging on that one, taking that right off the elbow brace.
Great opportunity for the Hornets. Locked in a 1-1 game with Alabama. Now their 3rd hitter in the order. Fabian Santana to the plate. First pitch swinging, right to third. Torres has it, and the inning is over.
After the hit batter, nice job right there by Alcott making the pitch. Big pickup by Torres. Picks up the 1 hop, makes a strong throw, keeping the game 1-1 here. Going to the bottom of the 4th. Alabama up.
One game in Tuscaloosa as Jackson Baptist making his first collegiate start after working an inning over the weekend. He has looked impressive, holding Alabama to 1 run on 2 hits. Now he's going through the order a second time. He'll face Purdy, Plattner, and Steele. 5, 6, 7 in the order. Some solid work. 2 walks compared to 6 strikeouts for Baptist against an SEC lineup in Alabama. Purdy, first pitch swinging. Will ground out to first.
Baptist will take that every day of the week. There was nothing better as a pitcher to get a first pitch out, just easy ground ball, just made, especially of the inning, helped you just feel like just comfortable, settle in a little bit. Man, that's a beautiful thing for a pitcher. Especially knowing that your lineup just had a long inning. You know, you created a little havoc on the bases, had a couple guys on, and then you go out there and 1 pitch out. Oof, love it.
Now he faces the Crimson Tide DH, Will Plattner. Again, Baptist from El Paso, Texas, Coronado High School. Texas 6A D1 Pitcher of the Year.
Tidbit. 2 separate seasons lived in El Paso. How about that?
Diablos?
It was before they went to the Chihuahuas, aren't they that?
Yes.
Yeah, El Paso Diablos.
I think he had a different ballpark as well.
I'm trying to think what it was called. I can't remember what it was called. All I remember then was the PA announcer, when you'd load the bases, he would be like, they would have this music, it would be like boom, like deep, bass, and he was like, the bases are F-O-D, and we're like, and he's like, and he would go real loud, full of Diablos, and he was like, oh man.
Pop to the foul territory. Callaway will give that a look.
So don't get scared.
Into the crowd.
Reach for it. Don't get scared. You want to talk about when the term Texas leaguer comes up, right? It's for those types of fields that the gaps were enormous, and if you didn't have speed from the outfielders, every ball just blooped was going to fall, and it was like, man, boy, it could mess up an ERA quick.
I bet. Sounds like you got plenty of experience of that as well.
We actually had some good outfielders. When your center fielder's name is Smoke Williams, guy can run.
Crack to the shortstop. Devine makes the play. 2 for 2 and a web gem along with it. It's been his day.
Yeah, there's just something about the slider. It's been good. It's not the greatest looking pitch. The metrics don't think, but I mean, he's hiding it well. The spin must be tight enough where the hitters don't see it. Just off the end of bat, and like you said, right, Devine comes in. I mean, this is a team with 5 errors in the 4 games they have. So you're going, hey, the defense might not be there, but boy, they've made every play tonight.
Yeah, he had 2 of the 5 errors over the weekend against Eastern Kentucky, but so far so good here in Tuscaloosa. Now Peyton Steele, Crimson Tide right fielder, singled last time up. Had a game-winning home run last night at Samford. Just past the mound. This will be the third baseman, Santana. Close for the out. Wonder if Alabama would challenge that. It looks like Steele maybe tip his cap, and that ends the inning. 3 ground ball outs and through 4. Jackson Baptist limiting the Crimson Tide to only 1 run. Let's go to the 5th, a 1-1 game in Tuscaloosa. Top of the 5th at Sewell Thomas Stadium, a 1-1 game between the Hornets of Alabama State and the Crimson Tide of Alabama. Bobby Alcock back to work for his 2nd inning of relief work. Had to deal with a couple of base runners, but ultimately a scoreless 4th. Now he'll face 4, 5, and 6 in the order, starting with the cleanup batter Trey Calloway, the catcher. Callaway also a transfer from Missouri, 7 games, 2 starts for the Tigers last year. Originally from Conyers, Georgia. gets to play for a solid program in Alabama State. Last season went 21-9 in the SWAC, finished third in the league behind Bethune-Cookman and Florida A&M. Going into this year, D1 baseball has Bethune-Cookman and FAMU picked just ahead of Alabama State going into this season in the SWAC. So that's left it high and deep down the left field line. Foul territory for Torres, and he can only watch. So that'll go right beyond to those kids chasing it down the third base line. Kid in the Blues got it. Full count to Callaway. Got him swinging with the fastball. Second strikeout for Bobby Alcock.
Best fastball of the day so far, 92. Little ride up and into the righty. Gives Callaway 3 punch outs on the day. Tough day so far.
Jackson Williams, a single and a walk for him today. First pitch swinging, pops it up. John Lim will flip the mask as that'll go into the crowd. Take one bounce just to the booth right next to us for the Crimson Tide Sports Network with David Kindred, Gray Robertson calling the game.
But they weren't ready.
No, of course
David's
not.
just sitting down, not having a shot. You know, maybe a lean over might get a snag. I mean, it's very few chances you get opportunities to make a play in the booth.
I'm sure Coach Gaspard said that about him all the time. I just wish Kindred would hustle a little more.
I mean, he's all hitter, right? No defense, all hitter. That's
good kid, but come on.
wants no part of defense.
Just missed there, 2-1.
Well, Jackson Williams, we talked about in his first AB, like, or no, it's the one in the third where he laid off 2 pitches. Just that pitch right there, 91, looked like it's on the black at the knees, and he spits on it like he knew it was coming.
It's contact and another good Alcock fastball, 2-2.
Alcock's fastball, now you start to get into the metrics of things. Induced vertical break, almost 20 inches, which anything above 18 is considered really, really good. And that means the ball just feels like it's kind of rising, even though it technically really can't. But it definitely plays up, and it's hard to square up.
Went back to it for the strikeout. Back-to-back Ks for Bobby Alcock.
Well, you could tell Alcock has settled in after that first inning where he pitched around a little traffic on the bases, because he's got a little bit more intense pace on the mound, getting the ball, attacking with the fastball.
On 2 away for Alex Espiat. Alcock, another one of the veteran options Alabama has for some midweeks as he comes on in relief in this ball game. Luke Smyers got the start, but think about yesterday, JT Blackwood with 6 scoreless innings. You don't want to have to burn your entire weekend bullpen in these midweek games. As we saw last year, that hurt Alabama down the stretch.
Well, that's what these veteran guys mixed in with the high-profile young arms like the Upchurch and the Smyers and all those, and you're already mixing it with Faye and Adams, and now you have, hey, like, we've got 6 guys that we feel like we could start, and you're right. It's guys that can give you length, and if anybody that can give you length, it doesn't burn a whole bullpen. And so that's the beauty of having the depth that now I feel like Coach Vaughn and Coach Jason Jackson have more than they've ever had. Not just in the rotation, in the bullpen, but also on the lineup as well. Because when it comes down to conference play, a lot of times it's about.
Fair ball to first. Purdy will make the play.
We'll talk about that next inning.
We sure will. Bottom of the 5th coming up. Still a 1-1 game in Tuscaloosa. Back at Sewell Thomas Stadium, bottom of the 5th, 1-1 game between Alabama and Alabama State. Eric Hines, Brennan Holtz, Bryce Fowler, 8-9-1, and the Crimson Tide batting order due up. Still against Jackson Baptist. Freshman starter, 4 innings, not allowing an earned run against Alabama. First pitch swinging, and the first hit for Eric Hines as a member of the Crimson Tide. The freshman from Tuscaloosa starts the 5th with a single.
Hines is a guy who wants to swing early in the count. Boy, he doesn't want to get deep into the count. Gets a ball middle part of the plate, hands in, shoots it up the middle. Nice job right there by E. Hines getting the first hit of his college career. There's going to be many more of those to follow. You can see his family from our left. Mom was clapping big.
Trying to spark this offense, only the 3rd hit of the game. How about the 4th from Brennan Holt? Hines taking off for third base. In there without a play. Men of the corners after Holt's single.
Alabama State's got somebody warming up, but it's starting to feel like Coach Vasquez might have stuck with Baptist 1 inning too long. They've jumped all over. It's been, what, 2 pitches, two laces into the outfield, and Alabama's got 1st and 3rd, nobody out, looking for a big inning.
Top of the order, back to the plate with Bryce Fowler. 0 for 2 in this game. Holt goes for second. He'll be there without a play. First stolen base for Brennan Holt. Situational hitting, something to keep an eye on for the Crimson Tide. Narrow win last night at Samford. Alabama was 0 for 4 with men in scoring position in that game. Also on opening day, notably left 11 men on base, 0 for 6 with men in scoring position in the 8-4 loss.
Boy, right here, 3-1. This is like when you hear coaches will yell, hey, zone this up. You got one spot, and you make that spot shrink a little bit more because you know who's on deck. Justin LeBron's in there, has an opportunity with bases loaded, nobody out. So you lock in on this one pitch.
Sox it foul to make it a full count. Hines at third, Holt at second, nobody out. Got him swinging. 7th strikeout for Baptist.
Went with the slider away, up out of the zone. Ball's going to be ball 4, and that's just sometimes you let the hitter be aggressive and use that aggressiveness against him. We see Coach Vasquez coming out to probably get him, pull him up, but man, you got to think, love the outing, love the intensity he pitched with. I mean, being able to go that deep into the ball game, which probably thought he was going to go 2, maybe 3 innings, and he's all of a sudden in the 5th inning in a 1-1 ball game. A lot of credit.
Tight game we've seen between the Crimson Tide and the Hornets tonight in Tuscaloosa. Last year, these teams also met early in the season. And Camden Matthews will be coming in. Jackson Baptist will exit, still responsible for 2 men on base, but some fine work tonight against an SEC lineup in Alabama. And it will be Camden Matthews that will take over on the mound. We'll tell you more about him when we come back to Tuscaloosa. 1-1 game in the bottom of the 5th. Camden Matthews, native of Scottsboro, Alabama, on the mound for Alabama State for his 2nd appearance of the season. Last couple of years was a closer for Miles College in Birmingham. Now he's with the Hornets and in a tight spot, 2 in scoring position with 1 out, and Justin LeBron to the plate. And we may have an issue with the bullpen door out in right center, delaying the resumption of this game just as Matthews came in. Vasquez talking with Rob Vaughn as everybody starts to look out towards the bullpen, and
they can't get in the gate. Once a lot of times you'll have guys sit in the dugout, and then hey, as it gets later in the game, more guys will go out to the bullpen, and after Matthews came in the game, the gate stopped working.
The extra warm-up toss is there, so look at what's going on.
I wonder if they pulled it the wrong way, right?
off the hinges.
Or if it just, gate's supposed to go one way and
comes
they
the ladder.
put it the other.
Now, was there a bullpen door that tricked you up in the majors ever?
No. There's some stairs like the Philadelphia.
Yes.
Like your bullpen is on top of their bullpen. And obviously what tripped you up is the Philadelphia fans just absolutely killing you. You better have, there's like, you better wear jackets over there. I don't care how hot it is so you can hide your name because they will. But like when you come down the stairs, it's just brick stairs. And so like you got to be careful. Like you got some guys that just get juiced up and like they're ready to come in, storming into the game, and you see them trip coming down the stairs. So that was one you think of most of the time. Okay, I mean, there's a guy there that opens the gate for you, and so if that's you hear of the things happen in the big leagues, well, the guy opens the gate for you and he closes it back. So that's his job. But you did have steps that you had to walk down, and there were a lot of steps. I mean, there's some bullpens. Baltimore was one where there was a couple steps, but 5. Philadelphia felt like it was a full flight and a half that you're like, all right,
25, something
you're nervous.
Like that.
You start getting nervous so you don't fall.
Well, the Crimson Tide grounds crew doing work. I mean, this is part of the field that is in play. Yes, it's the bullpen door, but certainly looks off its hinges and has to be fixed before we can continue.
Was that Matthews just so excited to come in the game? He just busted through and get me in there.
20 years calling college baseball. I think this is the first for me seeing something like this.
Okay. I mean, look like they got the drill, the hammer, everything's out there.
So it will be Matthews on. Extra time for him to get loose. Also think about Justin LeBron. Credit Alabama for dressing this as quickly as they are here at Sewell Thomas Stadium. Alabama State pitchers, members of the grounds crew as well, trying to stabilize that door in place. Teamwork.
And if they knew they were on camera. Yep, TV time. If you want TV time, we can figure a different way out.
They will continue working on this door. We will step aside for just a moment as we continue getting closer to resuming play between Alabama and Alabama State. 1-1 game in the bottom of the 5th. Tip of the cap to the Alabama grounds crew, getting the bullpen gate and door, and also, yes, part of that right center field wall ready to go, and regulation for the resumption of play between Alabama State and Alabama. We're in the bottom of the fifth, and a 1-1 game. Just had a pitching change for the Hornets. A lot of time for Camden Matthews to warm up, and as you mentioned, he may have been so fired up, kind of damaged the gate on his way in from the bullpen.
Don't know how his inning's going to go, but I can guarantee you he's ready. There's no doubt about that. And he's stepping into a tough situation. Second and third, Alabama's best hitter, Justin LeBron. There is a base open, so I'm wondering how Alabama State's going to play this. I would think it might be a 4-pitch intentional walk, but it looks like they're going to pitch to him. But this is going to be something where you're going to have to make him hit your pitch, nothing over the plate.
Matthews against LeBron. Justin, a walk last time up, then stole second base, and then forced Jackson Baptist to throw back to second on a pickoff throw that went wild in the center field. And LeBron scored from second to tie the game at 1. This gets away from Callaway. Alabama takes the lead as Hines crosses the plate. 2-1 Crimson Tide.
And that's the problem when you're going to try to intentionally pitch around a guy. I mean, you can see those balls, the fastball and the breaking ball, nowhere near the plate. Now you're going to make it hard on the catcher, Callaway, and having to block a pitch like that. And that's 2 runs for Alabama. And when you look at it, that's an error when they scored the first one, and a pass ball or a wild pitch on the next one. So not making them earn it, they're pretty much giving them runs.
Holtz at third with 1 gone. It's 2-0. And now 3-0. Ruled a passed ball on the catcher, Trey Callaway, making it 2-1 Crimson Tide. Rio grooved in for a strike, 3-1. Works the walk. Five games into the season, 6 walks drawn by Justin LeBron.
Well, you talked about on-base percentage, right? I mean, average is what it is. Sometimes you can square up balls and hit it at guys, but when you have the on-base percentage that he's sporting, that's where you want to be, because then he can start creating that havoc on the base pass, which right now you got first and third. I'd look for him to probably steal, but now with a left-handed hitter in Lim, you got the first baseman holding him on, so he creates a bigger hole, but he all of a sudden gets into maybe a hole down in the count. I'd look for LeBron to run.
John Lim singled back in the first, a ground out to first base last time up. Already keeping an eye on Justin LeBron, and for good reason. 7 stolen bases this season.
Oh, especially you have a guy at Holt at third base with speed as well. So now you have, 2 of your smartest base runners. You might run a first and third offense, especially if Lim gets into a bad hitter's count. And LeBron's getting a big lead, trying to force the throw. And now, hey, can you force an errant pickoff where you score a run and you get him to third base? But he's got a big lead.
He's going. Pitch for a strike, no throw to second. Second stolen base for Justin LeBron tonight.
You could tell there was one mission. The moment he hit first base, he took his lead. It looked like an extended lead, knowing that the pickoff move couldn't get him. And first opportunity, he takes second base easy.
2 in scoring position, 1 gone. Lim lines it foul.
8 bags in 5 games already. Wow.
That's something we really haven't seen a lot in the Vaughn era. It seems like some speed on the base paths. Yeah.
Well, now you're talking third year here. Coach Vaughn got, you always say he's got his guys now, the guy that play the game the way he wants to be played. And, maybe he's saying, hey, you got a little bit more green light. Take it, right? Trust yourself. I trust you as a player. And when you have a guy like Justin LeBron and the IQ that he has and just knowing how to play the game, you can do that. And then you get multiple guys, boy, that's when you can have some fun.
Two of the best on the base paths right now, and Brennan Holt at third, Justin LeBron at second with one gone. Solid power hitter at the plate in John Lynn. But a strikeout swinging on a slow curve at 70 miles per hour.
What, 70 miles an hour, like you said, Roger. He's got the fastball, curveball, slider, and change, but his two and two-third innings before this, it was all fastball slider. So the book on him is like, okay, that pitch wasn't there. Well, he showed it at the right time. You got the big punch out when he needs to. Got 2 outs. I mean, this is where, yeah, you gave up the run on the pass ball, but if you could keep it right here, boy, it gives the lineup a little bit of chance.
Jason Torres, the cleanup batter. A pair of strikeouts for him earlier against Jackson Baptist. A lot of swing and miss in this game. Alabama State struck out 7 times. Alabama as a team has struck out 8 times up. We're still in the bottom of the 5th. Check swing, did he go? Yes, says first base umpire Danny Cricks. 0-2.
Well, if you're a betting man, Raj, probably gonna see that same slider down and away. I mean, especially 0-2. Now, as a pitcher, sometimes we tend to make it 2 out of the zone, and we make it a non-competitive pitch. So you throw that exact same pitch. It doesn't have to be any better than it was. Just replicate it.
Got him swinging on the breaking ball. Third strikeout for Torres tonight. Alabama will strand 2 in scoring position. Crimson Tide do play to run thanks to a pass ball. So as we move to the 6th inning, it's now Alabama 2 and Alabama State 1. Twilight in Tuscaloosa. They are busy inside Coleman Coliseum. We are minutes away from tip-off. Alabama men's basketball against the Arkansas Razorbacks. Lance, a top 20 showdown coming up in there. The Crimson Tide won 4 in a row.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun game to watch. Boy, anytime you get a chance to get a night game, boy, you go out there and celebrate, especially after a win right here for Alabama. If they're able to hold on, you could walk right over. Go experience a little basketball game after a baseball game. That's a fun day.
Evan Stegmesser hoping to have some fun on the mound for the Crimson Tide. Transfer from Samford. Well, last night, a lot of pictures taken, a lot of friends he got to see. It's been 2 years part of the bullpen for the Bulldogs. First man he'll face is Cale Clark as we start inning number 6. Lefty on lefty with a lot of movement, very funky from Stegmesser.
Well, he's got in his one inning, he's got 2 punch outs, nothing else across the board, and it's a fastball, curveball, changeup. You already just saw the 77-mile-an-hour curveball, and it
just above Justin LeBron. Single by Clark. What a game he's had. A double and now a single to begin this 6th inning.
Well, I mean, you got to give a lot of credit right there. I actually thought that another big breaking ball was coming, but he stays on that ball because you think he just had the big breaking ball. So now the fastball in as a left on left, you're thinking, all right, that's probably a curveball. You're going to flinch a little bit, keeps the hands in, drives it opposite field over Justin LeBron's outstretched glove.
Leadoff man aboard. Clark. Here's Chandler. Devin Chandler, the left fielder, cracks the first one foul off of John Lim, the catcher. Stegmesser, 92 innings in his Samford career, had 92 strikeouts. Led the SoCon in appearances last year. 56 2/3, also the best of anybody out of the bullpen in that league. Heading the count 0-2. Barreled in the air to center. Long run for Fowler. Goes into a dive. Cannot make the grab. 2 aboard on the single by Chandler.
Alabama's players are all looking around. I didn't see an umpire make a signal, but you can tell. I always like to judge the player's reaction. You know, Bryce Fowler tries to sell it, but when he doesn't get the call, he throws the ball in because he knows he didn't catch the ball. It's about the fight from the Hornets, right? You lose the lead on a pass ball on a tough inning, and all of a sudden now you got 2 men on, nobody out. Got something going.
Devine lays down a bunt. Lim will pick it up. Does get the out at first as Devine does his job. Devine had the RBI single earlier for the only run for Alabama State. Now he puts 2 in scoring position on that sacrifice bunt with 1 out.
You're right. You mentioned guy having a good day at the plate, on the field, and then does a big job right there. I mean, that's a kind of the lost art in this game, right? Bunting, moving guys over, playing the game the right way. I mean, the game rewards you when you play the game the right way. And Devine, beautiful bunt, heck of a play by Lim, but does the job. And boy, you can see as he goes into the dugout, a lot of guys meeting with high fives.
Top of the order, back to the plate, Aiden Malpass. Outside corner strike.
You're about to see a steady dose of breaking ball, breaking ball, breaking ball.
Hoover native, Malpass 3 strikeouts in this game. Stegmesser in front, 0-2.
Well, this is where you go, right? Looking. Now you put the ball down in the dirt right behind home plate, and you're going to get you a strikeout swinging.
Tying run at third. Clark, go ahead run at second. Chandler, first base open. Check swing in the 0-2. Morris Hodges says no swing. 1-2.
Roger, I'm going right back to it. He's nodding like, yeah, I took that pitch, but I'm as a pitcher, I'm going to go. I don't think you can do it again. So here comes number 4 in a row.
Just below the table, 2-2. Got him swinging. The foul tip held onto by Lim. A huge strikeout for Stegmesser.
Yeah, a lot of times you go to the well, right? 5 straight curveballs, goes back to it, this time in the zone. Once you get to 2-2 after laying off it, you can see the frustration there. Malpass took the 2 good pitches, but boy, once he got back in the zone, couldn't put it in play, and that's a big strikeout for Steckmesser.
Another dangerous hitter to deal with, and Miguel Oropeza. Over 2, hit by a pitch tonight. Foul tip, strike 1. Oropeza 5 for 14 opening weekend against Eastern Kentucky. Hornets trying to cash in with men in scoring position, just 1 for 7 at the plate with runners in scoring position tonight. And also in 2 out hitting Alabama State 1 for 6.
You know, when you say those numbers, you got to give a little credit to Alabama pitching staff for, yes, they are getting the guys on right. I think Alabama State's had more base runners, you know, when it comes to the hitting side of things, but when they've gotten into scoring position, that's when Alabama's pitchers have locked it in, and that's why they're up 2-1.
2-2 count to Oropeza. Two-two. Went to the breaking ball, full count.
Different breaking balls when it's been to the right-handed hitter, right? The left-handed hitter seemed like there's more confidence, attacking, you know, stayed in line a little bit more. Now he's trying to go back foot, so he missed that one by a lot. See if he can make that correction.
First base is open. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Steckmesser with a strikeout as he went back to the fastball to get it done.
Yep, 89 miles an hour on the inside part of the plate. 2 big punch outs after the 2 guys get on, nobody out. Little bunt moves him over, but Steckmesser finishes him off strong with the 2 Ks.
Two-one Crimson Tide, another tight midweek contest. Last night came from behind to win 3-2 at Samford. Trying to improve to 2-0 in midweeks with a win tonight against Alabama State. Andrew Purdy will lead off this inning, Alabama first baseman. First pitch inside from Matthews for a ball. Still remarkable, Lance, what Alabama did last year, going 13-0 in midweek games. First time that Alabama did not lose a Tuesday or Wednesday non-conference game all season. As a matter of fact, the Crimson Tide, the only program in the country that could say that.
How far do we go back? I'm pulling up 24. Seeing it like truly, like obviously 13 last year. One already this year. Let's see. Troy, so that would be, was that 15, 16 in a row? 17 in a row.
Purdy works count even 2-2.
Last midweek loss, April 16, 2024. 5-2 to UAB in Tuscaloosa. The Blazers.
We might have done that game together on here. That's
Probably
low
did.
for a ball, 3-2. That's a remarkable run for the Crimson Tide. A year ago, getting that unblemished record against good competition that will be similar coming up this year. Next week, Alabama's got a tough trip to where the season ended a year ago, Hattiesburg. Take on Southern Miss, Pete Taylor Park. Check swing by Purdy, and no swing. He'll work the walk to begin the 6th inning. What I've always heard coaches talk about, midweeks can either give you momentum or sometimes take momentum away from a good SEC weekend.
Well, especially when you're playing, when you're playing what nationally ranked team like Southern Miss and other teams that are close in your region, right? I mean, if UAB comes in to beat Alabama, like that's one of their big moments of their season. Same thing with Sanford, same thing with Troy and South Alabama. So like you have teams that, I wouldn't say makes their season, but like it's one of those where like, hey, we can hang our hat on that, right? We went to Tuscaloosa, got the victory, so you have people gunning for you when you're in the SEC because hey, we want to be able to say we beat an SEC team. That's in our resume. That'll help us for the postseason. So you have a lot of teams gunning for you. So yeah, 13 games to go undefeated in the midweek. Because I remember you talked about the Southern Miss. Wasn't that a game last year where Bama jumped out early and then Southern Miss made it a big game? So
that's right.
That's a tough midweek, especially now having to go to Pete Taylor Field.
0-2 on Plattner.
Because that's going to be a great atmosphere at Southern Miss.
Always loud, always sold out, especially when an SEC opponent comes there. Like we've seen a lot recently in the postseason.
I mean, didn't they host a Super Regional?
Super Regional against Tennessee.
That's right.
And Alabama last year was there along with Miami, part of their regional. 1-2 on Plattner. Waved and missed at that off the plate. The slow breaking ball, Steckmesser and Matthews. We're getting to see some veterans go to work with some outstanding breaking pitches.
Well, what you're seeing is both of these guys out there going, hey, get ahead, stay ahead, and then make the hitter chase the pitch that you want because you feel good in the account that you're in. I mean, if you're at the point where you're nibbling a little bit and you're pitching behind in the zone, hitters aren't chasing that pitch. But when they feel that pressure, they're going to go out there, they're going to expand the zone and swing.
Baden Steele at the plate, singled first time up in the second. And a ground out to third base last time up. Steele had a tough time cracking the lineup last year because you had Kate Snell in left, Richie Monomolo in center, pretty much every game, and then Bryce Fowler in right field. He's made the most of his opportunity to start as a sophomore this year.
That just shows you how important strike one is, right? As a fastball just challenged him. It's fouled off. It's good contact, so he feels like he's right on it, but then he goes right back to the cutter, 84 mile an hour away, and now he's in 0-2, and now you're in the driver's seat when it comes to the at-bat.
Strikes out, back-to-back strikeouts after the walk by Matthews.
Man, another opportunity right there. You get 0-2, and he expands the zone with the fastball. That's not even close. Little cutter away at 85. To me, it looked like he was up and out of the zone. But when the guy's 0-2, he's going to go out there and swing.
Two away, Purdy at first for Eric Hines. Got his first collegiate hit last time up into center field. Also played football and basketball, was excellent in basketball at ACA. Inning started with a walk to Purdy, back-to-back strikeouts. Matthews works that a little high to Hines, hoping he would chase. Lifted high to right. Oropeza in. Inning over. Leadoff walk, but Alabama cannot do anything with it. We will roll to the 7th in a 2-1 game. The Crimson Tide leading the Hornets. Sewell Thomas Stadium on a Wednesday night. All the flags atop the scoreboard indicating the 5 College World Series appearances in Crimson Tide baseball history. Coach Rob Bond's goal is to, as he keeps saying, knock down the gates to Omaha, get the Crimson Tide back to the College World Series.
Yeah, that's something that the fan base, boy, when Coach Wells had it rolling 96, 97, 99, that stretch of 3 out of 4 years and shoot 98 was the old regional format. You talk to a lot of the guys, I mean, they were about 2 or 3 inches away on a GW Keller line drive from having 4 straight trips to Omaha. And that's, you know, the fan base, the crowds were electric then, and that's something that this city will support the winner. You just got to get to the point where you're winning consistently. And you know, 2 years ago they had them, the regionals were here, they hosted, it was a good crowd and everything, but the next year a little down a little bit more. So boy, if Alabama baseball can get rolling like they did in the late 90s, this place would be crazy.
It's like a pitch-com issue for John Lim or the IFB, getting that sorted out, so he can be on the same page with Coach Jackson in the dugout. And the Crimson Tide making it to the postseason under Coach Vaughn the first 2 years. Tallahassee Regional in 2024, and last year 0-2 in Hattiesburg. Regional top field for this one. Alabama State, who's been in the postseason recently, competing right with Alabama as Santana chops that to third and Torres makes the play. Trey Calloway to the plate. Last saw the Hornets in the postseason 2022. Went 0-2 at the Knoxville Regional. Also made it to the postseason 2016. So Coach Vasquez On his 10th season, trying to get the Hornets to win the SWAC. That's goal number 1. And try and make some noise in the postseason.
Well, you mentioned the 2 teams ahead of them, Bethune-Cookman and Florida A&M. I mean, those are 2 teams that they have had their runs in the postseason as well. I mean, that's a battle usually of those 2 teams in the SWAC.
Last year, Alabama State gave Bethune-Cookman all they could handle. It turned out to be an extra inning game in the SWAC tournament at Rickwood Field. Bethune-Cookman got the 8-7 win. I love the fact, too, they play that tournament at Rickwood.
I was coming with that, man. That's a cool opportunity for these, ball players to go there and experience the tradition of Rickwood Field and just what, Major League Baseball has done to make Rickwood Field better. When they had the game, the Cardinals versus the Giants, I think a couple years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
And that was a really cool atmosphere at that game. But they put a lot of money to renovate Rickwood Field and make it playable for a big league game. And now Rickwood has gotten an opportunity to keep that going.
America's oldest ballpark, built in 1910.
Really cool is my senior year, I was playing with, what we call travel ball. We actually moved to a city and we played in a tournament. We were based out of Hammond, Louisiana, and we played in a tournament in Rickwood Field. Another puncher out there by Steckmesser, just keeping that fastball down and away. Thought he had it the pitch before, but right there doing a good job of backing it up again. And then I was able to coach my son, and he had an opportunity to play at Rickwood. Now, that was about 30 years in between, and he goes, this field, it was before the renovation,
sure.
And he goes, it was terrible. I'm like, buddy, I don't think they've done anything since I played in it.
Well, there was definitely a high crowd on the infield as that's chopped to short. Clean bounce for Justin LeBron, and he shows off his arm strength to close out the inning. Well, 1-2-3 frame turned in by Steckmesser. It's stretch time in Tuscaloosa. Alabama with a 2-1 lead against Alabama State. Let's finish up. Cotton Eye Joe, after taking me out to the ball game here at Sewell Thomas Stadium, one of the great college baseball traditions that we have here at Sewell Thomas Stadium. Good, passionate crowd on hand to watch the Crimson Tide and the Hornets. Alabama's first home midweek game of the year before Rhode Island comes to town coming up this weekend. I mentioned this with Coach Rob Vaughn before the game. This is, really think about it, tricky week for Alabama. You took on the team picked to win the SoCon last night at their ballpark at Samford. You expect to see Alabama State near the top of the SWAC this season. Then the preseason pick to win the A-10. Rhode Island's here this weekend. Brennan Holt leading off the inning. Smacked down the left field line and fell.
And that's the part of college baseball that I think has changed the most in the last 5 years, is the parity names that you're going to go, oh, well, they shouldn't beat an SC. They shouldn't do this. They shouldn't do that. Well, how did y'all lose to them? Like, it's because they have 22, 23-year-old grown men playing the game, that they have 700 college ABs. They've pitched 200 innings in college, so they're veteran players. And, you know, like, hey, you always say, like, they get scholarships too. And that's the part where, you know, if a guy's out there on the field, you know, you're only as good as your starting pitcher that day, and sometimes that doesn't happen. So, but the parity in college baseball, especially with the transfer portal, man, you're starting to see more and more teams have opportunities and steal wins that, you know, 10, 15, 20 years ago, they wouldn't have happened.
Well, Camden Matthews is a good example of that. He spent 2 years at Marion Military Institute, Marion, Alabama. Is another one's hit foul by Holtz. So he's got college experience going all the way back to the spring of 2022. 2 years at Marion, 2 years at Miles College, and now gets to finish up his career as a grad student at Alabama State. And Alabama's had a tough time with his breaking balls. Except that one. Brennan Holtz all the way to the wall in right field. Lead-off double, Brennan Holtz.
Well, you're right, Roger. That ball just kind of stayed in the zone a little too long. He's 74 miles an hour, and it's up. You see Holt keeps the hands back, does a great job of doing that, driving that ball down the line and using the speed. Boy, he was thinking possible 3. Love the hustle there, but smart move, especially with nobody out. Don't want to make that first out at third base, especially knowing you got the top of the lineup and a left-handed hitter, Bryce Fowler, where an easy ground ball gets you to third base.
Fowler 0 for 3, top spot of the order for Alabama. Fowler on his third school, spent 2 years at Southern Miss, 2022 and 2023, before Pearl River Community College. Hit .419 for Pearl River CC in 2024 before joining the Crimson Tide, hitting .267 last year. Clubbed high, going deep to left center field. It's Chandler, just shy of the track, making the grab. Holt is going to take third base.
Your job as a hitter when you get a leadoff double or a man at second base with nobody out, I mean, you just got to get him over. There's multiple ways to get him over, right? You're thinking pull a ground ball, but right there, Fowler does a great job of getting the ball, lifted it deep, and you got to give a whole lot of credit. Saw where the outfielder was going to go, and the way Chandler played that ball, he wasn't behind it, so there's no way he was going to throw Holt out at third base.
Justin LeBron to the plate with the infield drawn in for Alabama State, trying to keep this a 2-1 contest, bottom of the 7th. LeBron 0 for 1, a pair of walks. A run scored, also 2 stolen bases in this game. Got him swinging. Matthews strikes out LeBron, 2 gone.
You know, Roger, when Matthews gets ahead, right, 0-1, 0-2, and he does a good job of expanding the zone right there. He went up for LeBron, used the aggressiveness because he knows he's wanting to drive in that run, but he's also done a great job with the breaking ball down. So, I mean, his biggest thing is he's got to be able to get ahead.
Holtz at third with John Lim at the plate, 2 gone. Updating the numbers for Alabama, the Crimson Tide 0 for 7 with men in scoring position, leaving 6 men on base so far tonight. Holt started the inning with a double, took third base and the fly out to center by Fowler.
You know, we talk about the parity, right? You look at teams like Morehead State beat a 18th ranked Kentucky last night. You had College of Charleston take care of number 6 Coastal Carolina. I mean, like, those are the kind of things that you don't expect to see, but you got to give a lot of credit to those teams that come in and play. And like I mentioned, it means a lot to some of those smaller schools to go up there and, hey, take out an SEC school or a nationally ranked school.
Soft fly ball on the infield, and Devine makes the catch. Alabama strands Holt at third base. It is still a one-run ball game. We go to the 8th at Sewell Thomas Stadium between the Tide and the Hornets. Caden Humphrey making his Alabama debut. Transfer from North Florida, who looks to be a great option for the Crimson Tide at the end of games. Who knows? Could be the closer, could be setup man. Alabama likes what they have in the North Florida transfer. ASUN's second team selection as a junior a year ago.
Yeah, you're talking about a guy with back into the bullpen stuff, 11 saves, but it's the mentality, Roger. It's a guy like, hey, I want the ball when the game matters the most. Fastball 99.3, but it's a 5-pitch mix, and that's what you're starting to see a lot more, Roger. The repertoire is bigger and deeper, and he's pulling into the bag of tricks. The cutter is probably his best pitch when it comes to a go-to, hey, what's he going to do? And he's going to throw that a lot. That comes in about 84 to 86.
Facing Espion, Clark, and Chandler. 6, 7, 8 in the order for the Hornets. Down by a run, top of the 8th. Espion a single, 1 for 3 in this game. To center field. Bryce Fowler snares the liner, 1 gone.
Frustrating part about hitting, 104 off the bat. Line out.
Cale Clark, 2-hit game, including a double in the second. Getting to see that fastball from Humphrey. All right, is that cutter? Is that splitter? What's he got?
Yeah, that's the splitter, changeup, one of those. He throws them both. They kind of look the same. I'm going to go the splitter. I think some of those, the scouting reports are saying, hey, but you can see the split grip. Here's another one. Wow.
Put out, completed at first. First strikeout for Humphrey with the Crimson Tide. 2 gone.
No, you start to see guys have to preset the ball, right? If you're going to, because he's more, it's a splitter, but it's a lot slower. So you think it's more of a fork ball kind of action with, you get it deep into the fingers. So you see he's already presetting it right there. That way he doesn't have to go find it. But, man, the difference, because the fastball was at 90 to 93, and the splitter came in at about 78, 79 miles an hour.
Devin Chandler.
But it's got great changeup action. Wes, the fact that you can throw it for the swing and miss like he just did and then back it up for a strike knowing that, hey, he's probably not going to swing 0-0. That's the cutter. Shaking there. You see the intensity on the mound, like, I got this.
Humphrey's so good in the fall for the Crimson Tide, especially in Alabama's fall scrimmage at Clemson. Count full to 3-2. Described by the coaches as having a fiery personality, and some of these close-up shots, we're really seeing that from Humphrey. Seems like a back end of the bullpen guy.
Yeah, those guys are always a little crazier than normal.
I'm scared sitting up here. To center field. Inning over. Caden Humphrey, welcome to Tuscaloosa with a 1-2-3 top of the 8th. Alabama in control as we go to the bottom of the 8th, 2-1 against Alabama State. Look at the press box here at Sol Thomas Stadium. Roger and Lance hanging out with you on this Wednesday night. Good time getting to see the Crimson Tide and a very good Alabama State team battle to the wire. 2-1 game. Last year it was high scoring. Alabama won 15-1 against the Hornets, but a different story this year. Jason Torres, after striking out each trip to the plate earlier, grounds out on another fine play made by Braden Devine at shortstop.
Well, that happened pretty quickly, right? I mean, strike one, gets an out. Heck of a play by Devine. Little scoop, one shot, 93 off the bat, picked it up. He picked it up, spun around, and I mean, the first baseman had the ball. I think Torres was 3/4 of the way there. It happened so fast.
Andrew Purdy, the first baseman, drawing a pair of walks tonight. Freshman out of Cartersville, Georgia. Camden Matthews trying to go final 4 innings on the mound for Alabama State after their starter, Jackson Baptist, went 4 1/3. 7 strikeouts for the freshman, gave up 2 unearned runs, and then it's been scoreless work from Matthews ever since. Just joining us, Alabama's 2 scoring plays to take this 2-1 lead. After Justin LeBron had stole second base, there was a pickoff throw by Baptist to second that went wild. LeBron scored from second. That tied the game at 1. Purdy strikes out looking 2 gone, and then Eric Hines, after he led off the 5th inning with a single, he was brought home on a pass ball, and that made it 2-1 Alabama, and it's really been it. The only scoring play for Alabama State was an RBI single by Braden Devine back in the 2nd.
I mean, a lot of credit to both pitching staffs, and we got 24 punch outs. The Hornets pitching staff has 13 to that Bama lineup. Bama's guys got 11, but you're talking only 12 hits. This has been a well-pitched ball game.
Coach Vasquez coming out as Matthews has gone the last 3 1/3 with 6 strikeouts in his time on the mound. Thought maybe going into this game he would get a lot of guys some experience against the Crimson Tide, but just as this game has worked out, he's been able to ride 2 pitchers all the way to 2 gone in the bottom of the 8th, and now he'll go to a 3rd.
Well, like you mentioned, Roger, it's been a couple games that have gotten out of hand pretty quickly, and he said, yeah, I'd like not to use a guy per inning, but if it gets out of hand, you don't want to waste guys. But now with a 1-run ball game for most of the game, he's going to go with his guys that give him the best chance to win.
So the new pitcher will be Zane Baltz for Alabama State. We'll tell you more about him when we return to the Joe. 2-1, Alabama leads Alabama State in Tuscaloosa. Zane Baltz, a junior from Brentwood, California, ready to make his 2nd appearance for Alabama State. Had 1 scoreless inning against Eastern Kentucky on opening weekend. Now he's in to face Crimson Tide's Brady Neal. It's Will Plattner's DH spot due up next in the order, but Alabama go to a lefty bat to face Baltz.
Well, in his one appearance, he had a third of an inning with a punch out, 3 fastballs, came in, let it go, let it eat, 86 to 90 with the heater, and he's doing exactly so far today. 89-mile-an-hour fastball for strike 1.
Los Mandanos college transfer to Alabama State. Taking on Brady Neal, who's got 4 years of SEC experience, 2 at LSU, now 2 at Alabama. Neal's made the most of his opportunities to play this season. Had a single last night, and then it's really good for Alabama, driving in 3 runs in the game 2 of Saturday's doubleheader against Washington State. As we've talked about before, 3 good catching options and just guys you want in the lineup overall, and Brady Neal, Will Plattner, John Lev.
And you also, which is rare, 2 of them can hit from the left side. Yep. And that's something that helps you have a platoon at catcher, because you start the guy that's a right-hander versus left-hand hitter.
Neal jumps on that, high and deep to right center field. Right at the wall, the grab is made. Aiden Malpass with what a catch for Alabama State, and that closes out the inning.
Well, that ball was absolutely crushed. Brady Neal got all of that 96 off the bat, but not enough. Like you said, Roger, Aiden Malpass with the play right in front of the Alabama State bullpen. They go nuts. Belts goes nuts, and they're off the field and going to the top of the 9th with a chance. Only down 1.
Matthew Heiberger on the mound for the Crimson Tide as we start the top of the 9th. Alabama protecting a 1-run lead against Alabama State. Good to see Heiberger, native of Birmingham's Oak Mountain High School, who is in the mix for potentially one of the starting roles for Alabama, but he can go long. He can go late in the ball game like this. A very versatile arm for the Crimson Tide that, Lance, we're going to see a lot of this season.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy I feel like could be in any kind of role, like you just mentioned, possible starter, but he's got the stuff that plays in all directions. Now, back into the bullpen, he's had a save his freshman year, didn't have any saves last year. This is a save opportunity. So, you know, early on in the season, you're just kind of, you're almost like throwing darts. What sticks on whose role? Because you picture roles, but you also got to see guys go out there and take them.
Braden Devine leading off this inning. Couple other changes for Alabama. It's Luke Vaughn at first base for the Tide. Justin Osterhaus has taken over in left field as Alabama tries to shore up the defense. Getting these final 3 outs. Devines RBI single in the second, the only scoring play for Alabama State tonight. Heiberger with a strikeout. 1 gone.
I like it. Don't mess around. 92 miles an hour fastball right at you. Inside part of the plate, ties up the hands, gets you a punch out. Strike. Sorry, not strike one. Out number 1. It's always the biggest out in that last inning when you're looking at this. Say you get the first out.
Jose Alfonso serving as a pinch hitter. 0 for 2 to begin his year. Heiberger filling it up at 0-2. Got him swinging. Fastball at 93 from Heiberger, 2 gone.
I love it, Roger, not messing around. I mean, he's coming in, just trusting the fastball. It's got one of those lively fastballs that even though the velocity's not in the upper 90s, it still feels like hitters would say, hey, that ball just jumps on me. So it plays like it's a little harder than that 93.
Miguel Oropeza, last chance to extend the game. Sends it deep down the left field line. Osterhaus just in the game, sees that one go foul. Ball and a strike to Oropeza. Now Heiberger a chance to strike out the side in order and then this game in a Crimson Tide win. Heiberger squeezes it for the final out, and Alabama picks up a 2-1 win against Alabama State. Crimson Tide getting midweek victories, close games against Samford and Alabama State. A couple of one-run games on Tuesday and Wednesday, but still wins for the Crimson Tide. Lance, as they have won 4 in a row, getting ready for the second weekend of the year.
Yeah, I mean, this is midweek win number 18 in a row, dating back to 2024. And like you said, Roger, one-run victories. It builds toughness. It builds, you know, that belief system that you're always going to be there. You don't want to have them, but guess what? When you do, you'd want to be on the right side of them. Alabama is, and you got to give a lot of credit to the bullpen. Came in down 1-0, and they threw up zeros, 7 straight zeros to take the victory.
Lance, enjoyed working with you. Great work.
Absolutely, man. It was fun.
That's Lance Cormier. I'm Roger Hoover saying thank you for watching. Huge thank you to our crew as well. This has been a production of the SEC Network. Thanks for watching from Tuscaloosa. Good job, Lee.